Close your eyes. No, seriously, do it. Imagine you're standing in a massive fog-filled lobby. It's chaotic. Billions of people are shoving, shouting, and breathing down each other's necks. The air is thick. It smells like cheap sweat, old dollar bills, printer ink, and cold, hard fear.
Welcome to the exchange, the marketplace of existence. You didn't buy a ticket to get here, honey. You were tossed in, naked, screaming, and completely broke.
And that first cry you let out when the doctor slapped your back? That wasn't a greeting. That was the opening bell for your very first trade.
We like to tell ourselves we're free, don't we? We think we choose our coffee, our lovers, our careers. But let's look at the naked truth beneath the Sunday suit. Life isn't a stroll in Central Park. It's a series of brutal, relentless negotiations.
This giant machine we call society, it doesn't give a damn about your name, your feelings, or your childhood trauma. It only asks one question. What do you have to trade?
When fate kicked you through the door, she gave you a starter pack with exactly 3 currencies. No more, no less. Time, money, and knowledge.
The Holy Trinity. The 3 legs of the stool you're trying to balance on. And the physics of this place are cold as ice. You never start with all 3. If you're missing one, you're forced to rip out the other 2 to pay the debt.
Exactly. There's no such thing as a free lunch in Manhattan, and there's definitely no shortcut in the universe. That steak dinner, that Tesla, that peaceful night's sleep, they all have price tags. The only question is, how are you paying?
Are you paying with your deteriorating muscles, with late-night brain fog, or with bills stained by anxiety? Let's stop talking theory. Let's talk blood and tears. Because when your pockets are empty, you pay with your life.
Let's zoom in on a rainy alleyway at 4 a.m. The streetlights are flickering, tired of their own existence. Shadows are already moving. Who are they? People short on cash.
And when you're short on cash, your bargaining power with life is exactly 0. The universe just sends you an overpriced invoice. You can't buy comfort, you can't buy leverage, and you certainly can't buy respect.
So what's the move? You sell your time and your health at a clearance sale. Look at the guy delivering packages in the freezing rain. He doesn't have capital, his skills are entry level, so he's forced to sell his 24 hours for pennies.
8 hours isn't enough? Fine, make it 12, 16. He's selling his sleep, his moments with his kids, his very youth, just to maintain the right to exist for another 24 hours. It's a tragic trade, selling your life to buy survival.
But here's the kicker. If you only use time to cover your money gap, you're going to rot in poverty. Why? Because time is a finite resource, but the world's greed? Oh, that's bottomless.
The only light at the end of this dark tunnel? Knowledge. Working longer is a trap. Learning more is the escape.
Sounds poetic, right? Just learn, bro. But in reality, it's a slow-motion torture. When you're broke, learning isn't romantic. It doesn't happen in a quiet library with a latte. It happens on a dusty construction site, or during a grueling night shift when your eyes are burning.
You have to use knowledge to jack up the price of your time. Think about that kid from the slums. No rich daddy, no Ivy League connections. What does he do? He grinds. He uses his time to devour books, to teach himself to code on a laptop that's held together by duct tape.
He trades his sleep for data, his rest for expertise. It's a painful investment, but it's the only one with a guaranteed ROI. Money comes later, slowly, drop by drop, but it's clean money. It's backed by sweat and gray matter.
And the dark side? The loneliness. When you're broke and trying to bridge the gap with time and grit, you don't have friends. You don't have happy hours. You're a monk in a world of hedonists.
But don't you dare whine about it. Pay the price. Pay it in full, and eventually the market will give you back your status.
Now let's flip the script. Leave the 4 a.m. rain behind. Imagine a neon-lit casino in Vegas, a high-frequency trading floor in Manhattan, or a polished tech startup in Silicon Valley.
Here, the players look different. They have the cash, they have the Rolexes, they have all the time in the world to lounge at rooftop bars. But beneath the designer suits, they're hollow, empty, zero knowledge.
This is where we witness life's darkest comedy. You see, the law of the universe is a hungry beast. If you lack knowledge, you're legally obligated to use your money and your time to buy the most expensive lessons on Earth.
There are only 2 ways to learn in this game. Path A, you learn from the masters, books, mentors, and the mistakes of others. That costs a little money and a lot of humility. Path B, you learn from your own train wrecks. That costs everything you own and requires a skull thick enough to survive the crash.
Guess which one most people choose? Exactly. Path B, every single time.
Think about the lottery curse or the trust fund kids who inherit an empire with the brain of a goldfish. They've got the capital, they've got the free time, but they have no clue how the plumbing of the financial world actually works.
To the market, these people aren't investors, they're prey. Society is a biological machine designed to sniff out a fat sheep, someone with a big bank account and a small mind.
And believe me, the wolves are always hungry. The sharks with the MBAs and the scammers with the silver tongues will descend on them like a buffet.
Knowledge always has a price tag. If you refuse to pay $20 for a book that could change your life, the universe will eventually hand you a $20,000 bill for a mistake that will ruin it.
We call this the ignorance tax. And trust me, the IRS has nothing on this. No tax collector is as ruthless as the laws of life. There are no extensions, no deductions, and no mercy.
When you're ignorant, your time becomes a black hole. You spend years grinding in the dark, trying to reinvent a wheel that someone else perfected in 1995. You waste a decade realizing a truth you could have learned in a 10-minute YouTube video or a single chapter of a book.
That's the real tragedy. You're using your hard-earned cash to buy failure experiences and your precious time to chew on the pain of regret, all for a tiny bit of wisdom that arrived way too late to save your portfolio.
And let's talk about the great illusion. People with money often hallucinate that they're geniuses. They think the zeros in their bank account are an IQ score.
But the market doesn't care about your ego. The market is a giant ego shredder. It will slap you in the face until you wake up, or until you're bankrupt, whichever comes first.
That's when the million-dollar epiphany hits. Money doesn't make money. Knowledge, specifically the knowledge of how to move money, is what makes money.
So, if you're sitting there with a little bit of savings but no plan, stop. Just stop. Every time you move without knowing the why, you're just writing a check to the ignorance tax office.
You're not taking a risk, you're being a donor. And in this market, donors don't get plaques, they get liquidated.
Let's move to the final scene of this act, the high-stakes boardroom versus the hospital bed, because there is one thing even more expensive than ignorance, and that's running out of the only currency you can never earn back.
Picture this, a glass boardroom on the 100th floor of a Hudson Yards skyscraper. The city below looks like a collection of toy cars. Or maybe a sterile white hospital room where the only music is the steady, rhythmic beep, beep of a heart monitor.
Welcome to the high-stakes table. This is where the winners sit, the titans of industry, the visionaries, the ones with $1 billion in the bank and a library of wisdom in their heads.
They have the cash, they have the knowledge, but the scale of fate never tips completely in your favor. What they lack now, what they crave with a burning, desperate passion, is time.
This is the final boss level of the game of life. When you're short on time, you use your money and knowledge to optimize every single second. This isn't just efficiency, this is elite-level survival.
Why does a billionaire hire a private chauffeur? It's not because they're too lazy to drive a Tesla. It's because their hour is worth $10,000, while the driver costs $30.
They're buying back 60 minutes of their life. They use that hour to apply their knowledge, create massive value, or just think. That's called buying time. It's the ultimate flex.
Assistants, specialists, private jets, concierge medicine, it's all about leverage. They know that money is renewable, knowledge is expandable, but time is the only asset in the universe that is non-renewable.
You lose $1 million on a bad trade, you can earn it back. You forget a skill, you can relearn it. But once a second slips into the void, it's gone, forever. The universe doesn't grant overtime, whether you're a homeless man under the Brooklyn Bridge or the president in the Oval Office.
But let's look at the dark corner of this penthouse, the loneliness at the top, the racing the sand glass syndrome. These people spend millions on biohacking, the best doctors, and experimental treatments just to buy another week, another month, another sunrise. They are literally trying to bribe the reaper with a gold-plated check. But here's the twist.
Realizing you're short on time is actually the highest form of maturity. It's the moment you stop arguing with idiots on X, Twitter, because they're not worth your minutes. It's the moment you stop going to soul-sucking networking events and start cherishing a quiet dinner with people you actually love. True wealth isn't just having a fat 401k, it's having time autonomy.
The peak of the game is using your accumulated cash and wisdom to buy back your freedom. Freedom to watch a flower bloom. Freedom to sit in silence. Freedom to say no to anything that doesn't feed your soul.
Most people spend their lives trading time for money. The wise spend their lives using money to buy back their time. Which side of that trade are you on right now?
Because at the end of the day, there's one final contract we all have to sign, and the ink is already drying. Look down at your palms right now. See those lines? That's not just skin, that's a map. But without fuel, a map is just a piece of paper. And your fuel consists of exactly 3 things: time, money, and knowledge.
This podcast isn't here to make you depressed about the brutal market of life. It's here to wake you up. When you understand the rules of the trade, you stop complaining and start winning.
If you're young and broke, don't panic. You are currently a time billionaire. But stop selling that time for cheap hits of dopamine, TikTok, video games, or sleeping until noon.
Sell that time for knowledge. Be a slave to the craft today so you can be the master of the industry tomorrow. Turn your brain into a heavy-duty weapon.
Let's break down your life investment strategy into 3 cinematic acts. Act 1, the predator, ages 20 to 30.
Status: high energy, high time, 0 cash, low experience. The strategy? Blood for brains. Work 12, 14, 16 hours a day. Work for free if it means learning from a shark. Reinvest 70% of what you earn back into yourself. Books, high-value skills, networking.
Don't buy a flashy car to impress people you don't even like. Your only asset right now is your hustle. Scars are your trophies.
Act 2, the architect, ages 30 to 45. Status: peak knowledge, growing capital, shrinking time. You have a family now, you have responsibilities.
The strategy? Brains for bucks. Stop working hard, start working smart. Use your knowledge to build systems. Hire people to do what you're overqualified for. Start using money to buy back other people's time.
This is where you move from labor to leverage. Invest with control, not with hope.
Act 3, the alchemist, age 45 and beyond. Status: abundant cash, deep wisdom, critical time shortage.
The strategy? Money for legacy. Optimize everything. Cut out toxic people and low-value tasks. Focus on your health like it's a billion-dollar portfolio.
Share your wisdom. Mentor the next generation. This is how you immortalize your knowledge. Use your wealth to create a dent in the universe.
Remember, everything is just a tool. Money, knowledge, even time. They are just vehicles to reach one destination: the human experience.
When you go into the ground, your bank balance stays behind. Your PhD disappears. Your clock stops. The only thing that matters is, what did you convert those currencies into?
Did you turn time into love? Did you turn money into smiles for your family? Did you turn knowledge into value for the world? That's the only net profit that counts in the end.
The market is cold, but it's fair. It doesn't give you everything, but it doesn't take everything either. You always have enough capital in one pocket to start a fire in the other.
So put your phone down, look in the mirror, ask yourself, what currency am I trading today to buy my future?
Don't wait for the market to close before you realize you're holding a handful of regrets.
Trade like a warrior, fair, fierce, and legendary. Good luck out there.